Okie dokie. Okie dokie. Hey guys, how's it going? So, my name is Thomas Bresch. I'm about to launch a game in 1 hour. Actually, this video is posting right at 8 a.m. Pacific time. So, as you're watching this, I have just launched Neversong. I'm recording this an hour before when you're actually watching that. So, I'm speaking to you from the past, obviously. So, I wanted to record a quick video diary about what launch has been like for Neversong. I can't calculate exactly how long it's been. I think it's been 2.5 to 3 years of production for this game. I don't even know anymore. It's been a long time. And I wanted to give you a quick rundown of what launch has been like for Neversong. And if you guys want to check out the game, please click the link below. It's 15% off on Steam for a limited time. And it would really help me. And that would be awesome. I think you'll really like it, by the way. I really like that game. I'm proud of it. And actually, Twinfinite really liked it, and also GameSpew. They gave it really good scores. So far things are looking good. Let's talk about launch. So how do you guys launch your indie game? Well, let's use Neversong as maybe a template for you to launch your game. So basically, 2 weeks ago, I told my publisher, I said, you know what? We need a launch on Steam. I think that we need to just make it happen. For a variety of reasons. And so they were like, are you sure, Thomas? I said, yeah, let's do it. So we scrambled to do the marketing plan and get it done in a couple days so that we had essentially 2 weeks to let everybody know that the game was coming out. So here's what we did. I can't speak to what my publisher did, but if you guys ever get a publisher, the first thing you need to tell them is, hey, I'm going to pretend you don't exist during launch, and I'm going to do my own marketing plan. And if they tell you they don't like that, I would recommend not working with them, because a lot of publishers, especially ones that are smaller, they think that what they can do is just hire a PR company to sell your game, and they don't have to do anything. So they'll spend 10 grand on a PR company, and then you're good to go. But I don't agree with this at all. Now, if you're working with someone like Double Fine, let them handle it. But if you're working with a smaller publisher or somebody that maybe is more of a partner with you and less of just a massive publisher, like, again, Double Fine or even like Microsoft or something like that, you're really going to want to pretend they don't exist during the marketing plan and just do your own thing. So here's what I did. 2 weeks ago, I immediately got a press list together, and Hector, my producer, he actually put together a massive press list of about 200 individuals. And what I told him to do, and he actually put this together last year, and so we had it ready to go. Now the problem is some of the email addresses were actually, not really valid anymore, because what happens is a lot of these writers for press outlets, a lot of them, their email addresses are no longer valid because they work at companies for like 3 months and then jump to another one and another one and another one, or they start freelancing or something. So the journalism field of employment is very fluid. So anyway, he had a list of like 200 members of the press, or 100 members of the press, 100 YouTubers, and we actually were able to find members of the press who had written about Pinstripe, my previous game, and we were able to reach out to them because we knew they would like this next game. Now, for those of you who don't have a game, it's totally fine. What I would do is, or don't have a previous release that was covered by various press outlets, what I would do is go find press reviewers, and Metacritic is a great place to start. Just search for a game that's similar to yours. So, I don't know, if your game is like Time Splitters, I'm just thinking of a random game. I can't even think of a game right now. If your game is like Time Splitters 2, I don't know why I'm thinking about that game. I love that game. I don't even know. I'm a little bit tired. So let's say your game is like Time Splitters 2. Go find reviews of Time Splitters 2. Find the reviewers of that game. on all of the different websites. It doesn't even matter if they're not in your country. Find them all over the world. Get their personal email addresses, and you can usually find those on their Twitter page. Get their personal email addresses and put a huge list together of all of these people in the press. Then just start shooting them keys. Send them keys, press list, and also, this is really important, send them a link to your YouTube trailer, because that will actually pop up in their email. So they don't have to click anything, it'll just show up in the email at the bottom of the email, especially if they're using like Gmail. So send them everything they need immediately. Do not ask them if they want to play your game. That's stupid, because what are they going to say? Nothing, because they don't have time for you. They're all very, very busy, right? So that's what I did. I just sent keys. I sent the press kit. And if you guys want to see my press kit, I'll put a link in the description. It's at atmosgames.com, and you can just click on Neversong and click on the press kit at the top of the page. So send the press kit and then send their Steam key. For God's sake, send the Steam key. Do not hesitate to send the Steam key. Make sure you guys are putting everything that is important right at the top of your email, okay? You really want to make sure that you understand that all of these people in the press, all of these YouTubers, they get a ton of emails every day, so you need to catch their attention quick before they even open the email. And I think a lot of these people aren't going to be on their phones, so they're just going to be scrolling through their phone, and they're going to see the first sentence of your email. That's all they're going to see. What do you want it to say? So make sure your subject line and that first sentence is huge. Usually I'll include your key in the description somewhere, or the subject line, so that they know that, hey, I'm getting a free key. And also, if you've had any reviews from any other websites, slam that in the subject line as well. So something like, for me, Kotaku, that was amazing, but they actually wrote about Neversong. And I said, game featured by Kotaku and Jacksepticeye, your key. And that's what I would do in the subject line. And we got pretty good response for that. Now, here's the thing. I'm looking at my press list. Well, actually, where'd it go? Well, if the press list was open and I was looking at it, I could tell you that probably 10 to 20%, I'm not sure the exact number, 10 to 20% of members of the press actually responded. Now, 10% or less actually said they would do some kind of coverage. So that's the I guess, depressing news. It's not really depressing, because honestly 10% is actually pretty good for press coverage on launch day. So that is the first step. Just send out your press keys to YouTubers and writers of various blogs and outlets. And don't be depressed if you're not getting, responses. The second thing you want to do for your marketing plan is go ahead and push for wish lists all across your social media. For me, thankfully, my YouTube channel did really well last year. It grew a lot, thanks to PewDiePie and thanks to you guys for helping promote my channel. And because of that, Twitter's been growing and Instagram's been growing and my email list has been growing. So I'm able to send out a ton of tweets and videos during these last 2 weeks, and I know you guys have been annoyed, asking for wish lists. And that's really, really important. Wish lists are going to help push your game up to the top of the top of the list on the new and upcoming on the front of the Steam page. Man, I can't talk today. And that's really great, because that's just going to drive more wish lists. So now we're getting about 740 wish lists a day for the last week on Steam. Now, the conversion rate for wish lists is a little bit different than it used to be. I'm not sure what it is now, but it still is important to get wish lists. Basically, Pinstripe, I can disclose this. Pinstripe made about $50,000 gross in the first month and a half, or let's just say month, of its launch on Steam, and that was with 8,000 wish lists and a pretty basic marketing plan. So with 20,000 wish lists, or actually right now we're at 24, 25,000, I'm pretty sure we'll get a lot more traction than we did with Pinstripe. So wish lists are obviously huge. Again, it's because people are seeing your game. They're being notified by Steam, hey, Thomas's game is out and it's 15% off. So that's a lot of people getting notified. If those wish lists convert, well, that means you're basically going to sort of create a spiral of exponential growth for your game on Steam. The more wish lists you get, the more purchases you get, the more purchases you get, the more wish lists you get. And hopefully you get plastered on the front page of Steam and you're pretty much in the atmosphere, ready to go. Now, the third thing that I do is all about launch day. I won't get too technical here, but there's a lot that gets posted immediately on launch hour, and my stomach is in knots right now because I'm looking at the clock, and this video, along with several other things, need to be done by exactly 11 a.m. AM ET, Eastern Time, and also 8 a.m. Pacific Time. So there's a couple things that I need to do. I need to post on Reddit. I also need to post this video. I need to post on Instagram and Twitter and Facebook. I need to do an email blast, and I need to post on Imgur, and also, oh man, there's a lot to do. I don't know if I'm gonna have time to do all this. Yeah, it's basically just a bunch of social media posts right at 11 a.m. My time, 8 a.m. Pacific Time. So all those things need to be posted immediately at the exact same time. And then I also need to distribute Kickstarter keys. So all that stuff happens immediately at launch. Now, the fourth thing that I'm going to be doing is not just relaxing after we launch, because it's not all about just prepping for launch and then saying, okay, there's nothing else I can do. You definitely want launch to be huge, a huge splash for you. But the fourth thing I do is I continue to do what I did in the first step, second step, and third step over and over and over again for the next week. And that is because if you hit the front page on Steam, if your game is performing well, you want to continue to feed it fuel so that it stays on the Steam front page and keeps getting more and more wish lists. Those wish lists will be helpful in the future for when you actually put the game on sale again, but it also just continues to drive sales, and Steam likes that. Obviously, the Steam algorithm is going to like that, and so they're going to keep your game in the limelight as long as you feed it fuel. So it's a long process. It's like a month of work of just pushing your game as much as you can, because if you can make a really good tidal wave on your game's launch, Steam sees that, the algorithm sees that, and it's going to propel your game for the next year and a half, or 2 years, maybe even 3 years. It's going to propel your game. So it's a lot of a Steam's launch is a lot like a launch of a rocket. If you can propel that rocket into the atmosphere, you really want to hit the atmosphere so that you can actually stay up there, and once you're there, you're just good to go. You're in orbit. But the truth is if you don't hit the atmosphere, your sales are going to be significantly lower. And I think Pinstripe probably didn't hit the atmosphere. I'll be honest, I don't think it did. It certainly performed well. Got a lot of reviews. We had a humble bundle. It provided for my family, gave me a decent salary for a couple years, including some other revenue sources, but it did well. I just don't think it hit the atmosphere. The atmosphere is when that exponential growth just explodes, and you really don't have to do much to keep the game up there. So I'm hoping, fingers crossed, that we hit the atmosphere for Neversong. If you guys want to check out Neversong, it would really mean a lot to me. It's 15% off. Click the link below. That would really be awesome. I'll talk to you guys later. Fingers crossed.